Hello, welcome to the programme. Police in northern Thailand say at least 38 people, many of them children, have been killed in a shooting at a nursery school. Reports say the gunman who had stormed the building has now killed himself after being hunted by police. The assailant is said to be a former police officer who was recently dismissed from his job. The attacker, armed with a gun and a knife, stormed into the childcare facility in Nong Bua Lamphu province. Our correspondent Anjana Gadgil has this report.
Thai police say the attacker shot and stabbed children and adults at the daycare centre in a rural district in the northeast of the country. At least 22 children were among those killed, with some of the victims just 2 years old. More than a dozen people were injured. The attacker has been identified as 34-year-old Panya Kamrab, a former police officer who was discharged from the force last year. He'd attended a court hearing on drugs charges earlier in the day. Police say he went to the centre to find his child wasn't there before beginning his attack. Around 30 children were inside. It was nap time. The killer was last seen driving away in a white pickup truck, and the hunt for him began. He then went home and killed his wife, his child and himself. The Prime Minister, Prayuth Chan-o-cha, has expressed his deepest condolences to the victims' families, describing the shooting as a shocking event. In a Facebook message, he ordered all emergency agencies to the scene. An investigation has begun into the motives behind this brutal attack. Anjana Gadgil, BBC News.
Yong Chai is a journalist with the BBC's Thailand service. He told me more about the attacker.
The motivation is still not clear at the moment. It's only because he already shot himself after what happened, and nobody knows what happened and why he did it. But his colleague, his former colleague, when he was still a cop, reported on the Thai media that he always on this drug, he on different kind of drugs, even when he was a police. And what happened was back in that time, he was furious all the time and also appeared to be violent. So that might be what happened, because he may be taking a lot of drugs, all kind of drugs.
And gun ownership is not rare in Thailand, is it? But awful episodes like this, mass shootings are.
The mass shooting is not common to compare to the US. We don't have that many incidents. But the past incident that happened, they all involved with people who in the military or the policemen, because they have access to the gun. And this also because even though he's an ex-cop, it's not difficult for him to have access to the gun. But to make it clear, it's not very common in Thailand.
And just to give us an idea of quite how significant this mass shooting is for Thailand. I mean, is it the worst ever?
This considered the worst ever because it's all happened to children at age between 2 to 4. The previous incident, even though the military person killed 29 people, but they're all random adult people who wander around in the shopping mall. But this, he has no motive at all. Nobody can confirm why he just chose to go into daycare and kill all of them. So this is tragic. Even the local reporter who reported the incident, I heard them cry when they report, because this is so touching that it happened to innocent children.
And from the information coming out from this educational facility now, how many children, indeed teachers, survived?
Only one child, one girl survived this. The reason given is that she has a very deep sleep through the whole incident. So she didn't know what happened, and she woke up later and all her friends gone. So from out of 25, there's only one girl survived.
Chayot Yong Chai speaking to me earlier.